All right. Okay. I'm going to go. I want you to do this. I want to continue with the same example. I'm going to do the same example over again. I tried to save it last time. Apparently, I didn't save it for the work we did. So let's do that. So let me, where am I? Okay. Let me share my screen so you can see hopefully you can see my canvas. You go to files. When you go to files, there is something called in-class solution. There is a folder called in-class solution. All right, click on that link, and it will give you only one file. There is one file in there called chapter 5. Download it. Go to the 3 dot and download the file. Download the file. And this is the example I will work on. This was supposed to have the calculations we did on Monday. Unfortunately, I went and I saved the wrong file and imposed it. So there is no harm. I'm going to do this example again with a minor twist. And you will see, I will show you how to use the financial calculators. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Somebody is saying assignment chapter 5 is not available. John Tran, do you have a problem seeing that?
No, Professor, I got that file ready. Thank you.
You did? Okay,
yes.
You're all set. Okay, all right. You should see both practice and assignment. I opened those up about 5 minutes ago. All right. Let me, I assume you have the spreadsheet. If you don't have the spreadsheet, let me know. I will wait a couple of minutes for all of you to have it. If I don't hear from you, that means you all have the spreadsheet, or at least those of you who are interested. Okay. This is what we did. We said for First City Bank, both banks pay the same 7% interest. The First City Bank pays simple interest.
I think you're sharing the canvas.
Yeah, you're right. I just realized that. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. It has nothing to do with incompetence. It has to do with old age. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. The First City Bank pays the simple interest account of 7%. The Second City Bank pays the same 7%, but compound interest. We are asking, if we deposit $62,000 in both banks, how much money we are going to have after 9 years? Let's calculate, or what's the difference? Okay, so the annual interest is equal to 62,000 times 7%. If I remember correctly, that was $4,340. Okay, let me double check that. So I take 62,000, it's simple interest. So I will continue paying interest, or the bank will continue paying interest on the principal 62,000 every year, year 1, year 2, year 3. That's why I say annual interest. Over 9 years, total interest will be the $4,340 times 9 years. And that will be equal to, if I remember, 101, no, it was 39 something, 39,060. 39,060. So future value, FB stands for future value, is principal plus interest. So after 9 years, I still have my 62,000 plus 39 or 60. So 62,000, 62,000 and 39 or 60, that's 101 or 60. Now we go to the second, Citibank. It has a compound interest method. It's a compound interest account where interest is compounded, meaning interest is paid on both principal and interest. Notice the simple interest only paid interest 7% on 62,000 every year. The same interest, 43.40. However, the second bank is compounding, meaning that the second year you pay 7% on the 62,000 plus the interest from the first year. On the third year, you pay interest on 62,000 plus the interest on the first year and the second. So that is compounded. And if you recall, I have erased the formula, is basically, this is from your lecture, future value is equal to present value times 1 plus R to the power T. So if I enlarge this so you can see it, you should see it very clearly. And all I have to do now is plug in numbers. All right. So I'm asking for future value, how much money you will have after 9 years. And the problem says you deposit $62,000 today. So 62,000 becomes what? Present value. So in the formula, I replace present value with 62,000. I told you the interest is 9%. And I asked you, oh, sorry, 7%. And I asked you, how much will you have after 9 years? So your T is 9 years. So what I have to do now is I have to calculate 1.07 to the power T. So we did that. We did that before. Let's do it again, just for the heck of it. And that's if I use TI calculator, Texas Instrument, I will clear it by saying CEC, then doing second key on your TI, and then pressing FV key. I want you to get into a habit of clearing it this way. Then I will say 1 plus 0.07 equals. The calculator will say 1.07. Remember, you will do, then press Y to the X, Y to the power of X, and that's for 9 years. I don't think you have to do equal, but let's put it there. This is Y to the X, so you won't get confused. I will do a superscript on this. So it will look like the key that you have. Here, you will get, I think, 1.8385, if I'm not wrong. Let me increase the decimal points on this. For those of you who have HP, Hewlett Packard 10B, you will clear by using the orange key and the key below that, C key, the key that says C. You do the same thing, 1 plus 0.07 equal. The calculator will give you 1.07. Then y to the x, in order to get to y to the x, you will do orange key and the multiplication key. All right, that if you look at your calculator, underneath in orange letter, it says y to the x. That's how you get to it. 9. You don't have to do equal, but I think a calculator automatically gives you 1.8385. I need to increase the decimal point on that, so you will see that. So when I go into the formula, I will work the calculator just to show. Okay, so let's do the calculators one by one. Notice I said second FV, CEC, second FV. All right, so you do 1 plus. You guys have to let me know if I need to slow down or repeat something, so feel free to do so. 1 plus 0.07, the calculator will put equal. As I said, the calculator gives you 1.07. Press Y to the X key, is right here on top of 9, Y to the X key, and then you put 9 years and you put equal. So you have to do equal. And that gives you 1.8385. All right. Okay, let me show you with HP. Let me put it here on top of this. You do the same thing, 1 plus 0.07, the interest rate, equal 1.07. The Y to the X key is, look at my cursor, is right in orange letters on the X key. So you do orange, arrow down, broken arrow, and X, multiplication sign. All right. And then you put 9 to the power 9. So it's 1.07, Y to the X, 9. And that's press equal, as I said here, you get 1.8385. Now, if I take that, multiply it by 62,000, I will get 113,984.47. Oops. 113,984.47. Is that right? Yes. So the question is, how much more would you earn? Difference is equal to 113,984.47 minus 101,060. And that will give you $12,924.47. That's the answer to the calculation. Okay. Any questions? Now, you see this, you notice these will take just a bit of time to do. And you bought your financial calculator. I mean, some of you had scientific calculator, and I said that doesn't work. Well, the scientific calculator could have done that calculation. But the reason you paid extra money out of your pocket to buy the financial calculator is for this. Financial let's say calculator. I don't know what happened. Calculator. No, this was it. Somebody is asking me to enable transcript. Okay, it should be there. Calculator using financial as function keys. This is what I mean. Let's talk about TI. Okay. Let's talk about TI. Again, remember to clear. That's very important. Notice that I keep saying that. CEC. Second, if you don't clear your calculator every time you do your calculation, the previous calculations stay in the memory and affects your answer, or may affect your answer. So that's how you clear the time value. Notice this. If I didn't mention it last time, when you do CEC, second clear, notice on top of FV, second FV, it says CLR TVM. Clear TVM is time value of money. This is what we do. So that's what you do. CEC, second FV. You clear the time value of money. Later on, you clear something else, and I will show you that when the time comes. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Pay attention. Those of you who have a TI calculator, you can work with me. All right, you clear your calculator, then you put 62,000. And I want you to do this, 62,000. And there is a key at the bottom of your calculator, which is plus minus key. Is a plus minus key. Press that. That will put the minus in front of your 62,000. And I'll tell you why in a moment, but do that for now. 62,000 is present value. How do I know that? Because I said you deposit 62,000 today. When I say 62,000 today, that 62,000 becomes present value. Then the interest is 7%. You put 7, you press I key, I/Y key, and let me go back and do a better job. This is and then you put 9, and that's for 9 years. And then you guys will press the compute key and future value. And let's write the answer. Notice the answer will be slightly different. The reason is, when I went to calculate, I inputted 1.8385 manually. So that number is rounded. But when you use financial calculator, it doesn't round the number. Okay, let me explain a couple of things here. Here it is. If you have not done it, do it with me. You clear your calculator, CEC, second FV, then you put 62,000, change sign, this is the key, plus minus sign, change sign. It puts a minus in front of 62,000, and you press present value. Then you press 7 IY, and then you press 9 N, ups, N. Okay, I screwed it up, sorry. One more time. 62,000. Change sign. Present value. 7 interest. 9 N. And compute CPT. Compute FV, future value. Notice that's your answer. It's very close. Is oh, wait a second. This is exactly the same. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the answer is different. So you get 113,984.47. All right. Let's
Professor, I have
use.
a quick question.
Yes.
My calculator is rounding up, so instead of getting the like 4 decimals, I'll get 1.
Okay. You either were not here on Monday or you were not paying attention. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It is in that cheat sheet that is on Canvas, and I showed you.
Okay.
In order to change your decimal point, do second key. I assume you have Texas Instrument, right?
Yes.
Okay, do second key and dot. This dot between 0 plus and minus.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do it again. Second dot, it will say DEC. Am I right?
Yes.
Put 4 for 4 decimal point and enter. There is enter, not equal. Enter key on top. Now it should give you 4 decimal points.
Thank you.
Okay, now try it again. You should get my answer. You guys don't have to try this, but I want to show you what will happen if you don't put minus in front of the 62,000. If you don't change 62,000 to a negative number. So if you put only 62,000 as it is, and you press present value, then you do 7I, 9N, and do compute future value. Look at the answer. Look at the answer. It's exact same answer, except it puts a minus in front of it. That's the nature of calculator. It has input, output, and the way input and output are distinguished is by the sign plus and minus. So if your input is positive, your output, which is future value, will be negative. If you change the sign on your input, you make it negative, then your output will be positive. What am I saying is that because the answer that you have to put in connect or the 5 multiple choice answers you will get on the test, they're all positive. I don't want you to get confused and say, hey, I have the answer. I have 113,984.47, but mine is negative, but the answers are all positive. Don't get confused. Your calculator is doing that to you. So if you wanted to look pretty, exactly what Connect wants or what the multiple choice answers on the test are, then input the first number into the calculator as negative number, and your output will be positive. Is that clear? In other words, I'm saying, ignore the minus sign here for now. Okay. There was something else on the calculator. Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's do the HP one. Okay, make sure you're clear. Let me write it out. HP 10B, orange, C key. Again, the same thing, 62,000. If you look at the your plus and minus key is in a different place. It's on the right, left-hand side. You change the sign and you do present value. You put 7. Your interest rate key is I/YR. So instead of I/Y, that doesn't make any difference. It's just notation. N is exactly the same. You don't have a compute key on HP calculator. So all you do, you press FV. And trust me, you should get the same answer, 113,984.47. Am I telling you the truth? Let's try it. See, broken arrow C, orange C. The calculator is clear. 62,000. 62,000. And this is your plus and minus. It's on the left-hand side, plus and minus. Okay. That puts a minus on your 62,000. You press present value. Then you put 7, interest, IYR. IYR, you press that. 9, you press N. There is no compute, so you put future value. Look at the answer. Exactly the same. 113,984.47. Any questions?
No.
Very. Are you guys impressed? Yes, you are. Okay, you just
A lot easier.
Yeah, all either.
All right.
One quick question.
Yes.
So when we're pressing like 62,000, the plus minus present value, and then when we press the 7, do we press 7 first or the IYR?
No, it's always number first, then the key. So you do it exactly the way you see it on the screen here. Your numbers first, keys followed by the key. So 62,000. Here you're doing an extra step by changing the sign and then PV key. Then you do 7 I key, 9 N key. But do you have to put it in that order? Can you say 9? Let's try. What if you change the order? 9 N, 7 I put the number and then press the key. 62,000. Change the sign, PV, and then calculate FV. It gives you the answer. The order you put, interest rate, period, PV, the order doesn't matter. You can put it in any order you want. However, answer to your question is that you put the number first and then you press the I key, N key, PV key, and so forth. Okay, let's go to the next problem. You deposit 8152 into savings account today. So 8152 becomes your what? Present value. Here, I've been very nice and I put the number in here. I don't know why this goes so much down. Okay, so interest rate is 8%. I want to know how much would you have, how much I would have in the account after 8 years. So 8 is N, 8% is R. I calculate this. The number is 1.8509. And the answer is $15,088.78. Okay. Let me remind you again, if it's a TI calculator, just remind you. Maybe I don't have to do that in a, but let me do it. Second, FV, remember 1 plus 0.08. Now, if you're using the financial key, the function key, you don't have to do these calculations. But if you do 1 plus 0.08 equal, the calculator will give you 1.08. Then you do y to the x and you do 8, and you press equal. Remember, this is y to the x. So let me make it pretty and superscripted. And if you do that, the calculator will give you 1.8509. The young lady who said she gets only 2 decimal points. Now, if you do that, you should get, instead of 1.85, you should get 1.8509. The display should show you that. HP 10B calculator, you clear it by doing orange and C. And you do the same thing, 1 plus 0.08, and you put equal. The calculator will say 1.08. You do the orange and multiplication sign, and that will give you 8. That will give you y to the x, 8. And your calculator should give you 1.8509. And you plug it into here for 1.08 to the power 8, and you get the future value. All right, let me try it with this calculator. So 1 plus 0.08 equals y to the x 8. That's 1.8509. And that's the number you multiply by 8152. However, let's use financial calculator. Financial function keys. Okay, let's do TI. Remember again, CEC, second, FV. That's very important to clear the calculator. Then this is what you do, 8152. Remember, you want to change the sign cosmetically, it will give you a positive answer. It makes it look nice. Present value, that's your present value, because I said you deposit that today. Then you have 8 I, Y, and you have 8 N. And then you compute future value. Answer. It should be very close to what I calculated. But before I do that, let me also show you HP 10B, which you use orange key and C key. And you will do 8152 plus minus present value 8. The I key is actually IYR. That's the key for interest rate. The N key is always called N. The period key is called N. There is no compute, so you just do future value. And you write the answer down. Okay, let's try it. I hope while I'm writing it, you're trying it. Okay, let's do it. It's CC, second function FV. So now, 8152, change the sign for Texas Instrument is at the bottom here. Put some minus in front of it. That's your present value. 8I is your interest. 8N is your period. You compute future value. You get you get exactly the same answer, 15,088.78.
Professor, quick question.
Yes.
Let's just say that do we round up if necessary, or do you just keep it at the?
If necessary, if the third number, is this third number instead of 3, if it was 5, you will round it up.
Okay.
Okay. In terms of exam, 1 cent here and there, it doesn't make any difference. So you'll be easily pick the answer. For connect, I think I have given a small margin of error. So even if you put 78 as opposed to 79, it should not make a difference. You should get the points. But if not, then you round up or down. In this case, the third number is less than 5. I will round it down to 78. Okay, let's try this. The Hewlett Packard. Clear. Use orange key, and C. It clears. 8152, 8152. I changed the sign. The change sign is here on the left-hand corner. It puts a minus in front of 8152, and that becomes your present value. 8 IYR, interest. 8N is for the period. There is no compute, so you do future value. FV, and you get exact same answer. Exact same answer. Which is 15, 088, 78. Any questions?
No.
Very good, thank you.
At least for my part, I got no questions.
Okay, well, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. It's better to answer the questions now than you go and start trying to figure it out later. Sometimes I get excited and start going fast. Okay, you need $48,557, and that's problem number 3. If you problem number 3 at the bottom of the spreadsheet, if you put your mouse and click on it on the tab, that's problem number 3. You get $48,557 in 5 years. How much do you need to deposit in an account today if interest rates are 14%? All right. So let's say you want to buy a car in 5 years. You want to buy a Tesla Model 3. $48,557. All right. In 5 years. How much do you need to save today at 14%? So that in 5 years you will have $48,557. So all you need to do, recognize that your 48,57 here is your future value. That's the number that goes into your formula. You don't even, since you have the financial calculator, you really don't need the formula, but I still like to do it so you have an understanding of what's going on. Interest rate is 14%, and the period is 5 years. So T is 5, R is 14. So if you want to solve this, all right, then this is what you would do. Very easily, you will say the present value, you're solving for present value, is equal to 48 sorry, yeah, 48,557 divided by 1 plus 14%, 1 plus 14% to the power 5. So if I increase the fonts on this equation, my screen went blank. Okay. Then all I have to do if I'm using the financial again, not the financial, the calculator, TI calculator, you know how to clear. You do 1 14 equal, you get 1.14. You do y to the x key 5 equal. Don't forget, this is a superscript, y to the x key. And you should get, let's see what you get, 1.14, 5 y to the x key, 1.92, 9254. If you have HP 10B, you clear it, then you do the same. One plus 0.14 equal, the calculator will give you 1.14. You do orange key and multiplication key. And then you put 5 and equal. The calculator will give you the same answer, 1.9254. So here, you do 48,557 divided by 1.9254. That's equal to, so 48,557, 1.9254. I get 25,219 and 18 cents. Okay, but you have paid good money, hard-earned money to buy a financial calculator. So you want to use the financial function key. So you will do 48,557 as usual. You change the sign. And this time you say future value because that's the money in the future. You will say 14. I, Y, and you will say 5, N. And then you compute answer. This is for Texas Instrument. for, let me make a note of that. TI, again, it's very important to again remember you're clearing the calculator because now you're doing a different problem. For HP 10B, you use orange and C key, and you do 48,557. Change the sign again. Future value. 14. YR key for interest, and 5 N key, and then you do present value. I'm sorry, this is not clear here, and the answer will be, you will see in a moment. And let me add a PV here. This is compute. There is no V. There's no PSV, so it's present value. So here it is. CEC, second, FV. I have 48,557. Change sign key for Texas Instrument is at the bottom, plus minus, and I press FV. Then I will 14% I, Y, and I do 5 N, 5 N, 5 years. Compute present value. Look at my answer. It's slightly different. Notice that I have 219.18, and that's 25,218.98. 25,219.28. Let me double check.
Professor?
Yes.
That's exactly what I got.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got on mine as well. Is this gonna be like one of those situations where there's gonna be a little bit of a in
Yes.
between where, okay, yeah,
Yes.
because
Now I will explain it to you. I will show you in a moment. The reason is that when I did this calculation stepwise, I took the number from my calculator and I entered it manually. I put 48,557 divided by, I entered 1.9254 manually. In other words, I rounded the number. And that gives me a different answer than the financial calculator. Let me try HP as well. Okay, let me try the HP calculator. So I will do clear 48,557. Change sign is here, and I press future value. Then I have 14 I 5 N. And then you press present value. You get exact same answer, 25,218.94. Okay.
Professor?
Yes.
For some reason, I'm following your steps exactly for the HP 10B. But same with the last problem, I'm not getting that number for some reason. Do you know if there might be a reason why?
Are you clearing it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got a different answer. I got as well. I got like 45,821.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
That's what I got
Okay.
too.
Uh,
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's try something else because I asked you to double check that on Monday. Do this. When you look at your screen, when you do that. Sorry, look at your display on the calculator when you do this. Do orange key, C. Do you see 1 or 12?
12.
Okay. Do it. If you see 12, your calculator is charging interest 12 times a year. I mentioned that on Monday, and in that sheet, you have the way to change it. So if you go, let's see if I remember how to do it. If you go, where is it? Oh, here, 1 PR. If you go 1 PR. Now, if I do this, those of you, wait, try this, all of you. If you are not getting the answer on your HP, do orange key C. It should say 1 PR. If it says anything else, this is what I want you to do, is 1 orange PMT key. 1 orange payment, PMT key, press that. Now go back and do it again. Do arrow down, C. Does it say 1?
Yes.
Okay, now do the problem. 48,557, change the number.
Okay, it's
Future,
yeah,
right.
working.
Yeah, it worked now. Thank you.
Okay, 14I, 5N. Present value, you should get the same answer. That goes for
Thank
all
you.
of you. Your calculator sometimes comes as a default by paying interest twice. That's why your number was consistently with this problem and other problems, your number was consistently more than mine because you paid interest 12 times a year, whereas I'm calculating everything assuming that I pay interest once a year. All right. This is what I want to show you. Please have your calculators ready so you work with me. Just for the heck of it, take 48,557 divided by 1.9254. Just to double check this, 48,557 divided by 1.9254. You see, you get 25,219, 18 cents. All right, now let's try this. 1.14 to the power 5. Now let me increase the decimal point to that. It's not taking 9. Okay, 8. That's good. If you take 1.114, if I take that, I'm increasing the decimal point, so I don't do rounding very much. Sorry. So instead of 1.9254, this, I want one of you to take 48,557 divided by 1.92541458 and tell me what your answer is. Is it close to this?
Yeah, it's exactly that answer.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? The difference between 25 to 1898 and 25 to 1918 is that this number, when I entered it into calculator, was rounded to 4 decimal points. When you expand it and keep the number at 8 decimal points, you can see the final answer is very close to what the calculator functions did. My suggestion is when you do your, I don't want you to change the decimal points. I want you to keep the decimal points at 4 decimal points. Use the function keys. Use the function keys to use the function keys to do the homework to get the answer. Okay. In March 2022, you bought some bonds for $450. Okay, March 2022, the company offers to sell some bonds to public. The company promises to pay investors $900 in March 2042 when the bonds mature. The investors paid $450 for each bond when they bought them. If you purchase the bond for $450, what is your rate of return? Okay, I'm going to ask students some questions. So I'll start with Hector. Hector, what is your 450? You bought the bonds for 450. What is that? Future value or present value?
Present value.
Excellent, excellent. Present value, because that's what you bought the bonds for. That's what you paid. All right. Ethan, what is the future value?
The future value, let's see, $900 because it's,
Excellent.
yeah, okay.
Excellent. Yes, because that's what the company will pay in 2042. All right. So okay, Jessica, can you tell me what the period is? T. You bought the bond in 2012. The company pays you in 2042. Can you guess?
Is it 42?
Okay.
You bought the bonds in 2012, then the company buys them back from you in 2042. So you had the bonds for how long? The difference. 30 years.
30 years?
Yes. Okay. So now you can solve the problem. I want to first show you the financial calculator. Function keys. When you use that, remember, when you put $2 numbers into the calculator, the rule is, this is very important, write it down. The rule is one of the numbers has to be negative. Doesn't matter which one, present value or future value. One of the numbers has to be negative. So if I take 450 plus minus, and that's my present value, and 900 is my future value. Okay. This is in order to make sure is 2042 minus 2012 equal, and whatever that is your n. You compute what you want to know. What is I? Why? What is the rate? That's what you want. You compute that. Okay, let's go to HP 10B, orange, C. Again, this time you guys do the opposite. You guys do 450 present value. Change the sign on 900. It does, because I said it doesn't matter. That's your future value. Again, you do 2042 minus 2012, and you press N, and you don't have the compute key, so you press IYR. Answer. So clear? If I use 450, change the sign minus, and I put present value, 900, I put future value, 900 is future value, 2042 minus 2012 equals 30. I put N, 30 years. Compute I gives you 2.3374. That's your answer. $2.3374. Remember that because it's the rate, is always a percent. Let me use HP, orange, C, it clears. This time I will keep 450 as positive, present value, 900, change sign, becomes negative, future value, 2042 minus 2012 equals 30 years. I press N and I press IY. It gives me the exact same answer, 2.3374. .3374%. The calculator will not show you the percent sign, but because you're calculating I, that 2.334 is your answer as a percent. I think there's something at the bottom here. Let me see what it is. Okay, that we have done that. So I'm gonna leave it. Okay. That's the future value. I want to do this problem. Go to Louis example. Go to the last spreadsheet. Okay, ready? I'm going to show you financial calculator. Function keys. TI, as always, you clear it. Okay, so this time you have $25 today. You have $25 today. Change the sign on that. And you put present value. Then they say you will triple this money. You will triple this money. Meaning what? 25 times 3 is equal to, you triple it. That's your future value. You will triple that money. At 9%, 9.5 interest. The question is asking, how long? Compute N. Your answer is, but if you are using HP 10B, you clear by doing the orange key and C key? You do the same thing. Or let's do it, make it more exciting. Don't change the sign on 25. Take 25 times 3 equal, and then change the sign, plus minus, and press FV. Do 9.5% interest, IYR, and there is no compute key, so you put N and write the answer. So let's do it. Let's start with Texas Instrument. CCE, second function, FE. You cleared the calculator. 25, change sign. That's your present value. That is your present value. So it becomes minus 25, present value. Then you take 25 times 3, because you're tripling it, 75, that becomes your future value. Press FV. 9.5, press I, then do compute, and 12.105. Here you round up. Here you round up. 12.11. That's the answer. With Connect is very good. They give you exact instructions as how many decimal points to use. So in order to get to that decimal points, you round up. Second function, sorry, orange, C, it clears your calculator. Remember, 25, but this time I keep the 25 positive. 25, I press present value key. 25 times 3 is equal to, change the sign, puts a minus in front of it. That's my future value. I press FV key. 9.5 is interest, IYR. And then I press N key. Exactly same answer. 12.105. I rounded to 12.11. I want to show you something. Let's go back to problem 9. I have a couple of minutes. I want to take advantage of those and show you something here in problem 9. If I want to solve this as calculation wise, okay, if I want to solve this, then I will write it this way. Let's see if I can do it in 2 minutes. I would say 1 plus r to the power t equals 900 divided by 450, which equals to 2. Let me increase the font on this so you can see it. Okay, by the way, this t, I'm sorry, this t is 30. Okay, that's 30 years. So that's how I arrive. Now I need to get rid of the 30. So in order to get rid of 30, take both sides of equation to the power of 1 divided by 30. Okay, so that will be, you take 2 to the power of 130. If you do that, you get rid of the 30, and you will get an answer very close to what the financial calculator does. I'm going to finish this up, and I'll put it again in the solution, in-class solution. You will have that completed spreadsheet in there. So if you want to use it as a reference, you will have it available to yourself, or you can even print it out if you like to. Thank you for joining me. Pay attention to the deadline for the homework. Don't wait till 12:59 p.m. on February 9 to submit it. Submit it at least half an hour, 45 minutes ahead of time. There is no reason to wait till the last minute because your time, your 12:59 is different than Connect. So you want to make sure that your homework is submitted. And it has to be submitted. It's not enough to save it. All right. Have a good weekend. I will see you back here on Monday. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you,
Have a
Professor.
good one.